Howdy, this is Ranger. You are watching Ranger Road Trip Part 2. Today I'm at the Great Escape in Lake George, New York. This is a first for the In the Loop channel, so I'll be doing the full tour of the park today. This is a Comet. This is the ride that this park is most famous for. There's some things I like about it, and there's some things that I don't like so much about it. Definitely an old school wooden coaster, really bumpy ride. Definitely a backseat ride, I'd say. When you get... I prefer it in the back because you get pulled over through the end of the turns into the drops. And then you get some nice ejector air on a lot of the hills. There's a lot of smaller hills on this ride, so there's many moments of air time. And most of it's going to be when you're in the back. But like I said, it is very bumpy. It's a good long ride too. It's a double out and back, so you get a pretty good amount of ride for your weight on this one. This is Flashback. It is their Vekoma Boomerang. This is one of the most copied roller coasters in the world. The number of these that I've been on is starting to be quite staggering. My last count, I'm at something like 18 of these copies that I've ridden. They go through this circuit, and then once it gets to the back tower, it goes backwards. Let me try to describe this to those of you who have never been on one of these. It's a lot like riding in an Escalade that's being driven by Tiger Woods, only it's bumpier and it's not quite as thrilling. Although both of them you feel sick at the end of it, and they end very abruptly. Their SNS freefall ride is called Sasquatch. There is a turbo drop and one space shot ride. This is one of the more heavily themed SNS towers I've ever seen. It's based on a Sasquatch hunting expedition. So you see their big truck here, and there's some more cool stuff down on the other side of the entrance. Said cool stuff. The cars are apparently driving themselves around the track today. Sitting near the front gate, we have the Steamin' Demon. This is an aero corkscrew roller coaster. Like all the rides here, none of them run very efficiently. The ride operators are slow and they're understaffed. I can't imagine what it's going to be like on this ride when VR opens on it next month. It's terrible as it is, and it's going to be atrociously bad once the VR comes with this ride. Larson Loopers are live! Like many other parks, there's a Wild West section of the park. This place is known as Ghost Town. One interesting ride here is Marshall's Stampede. It's a bumper car ride, and they've got these support poles right in the middle of the ride. So you can see the building, it's a rectangle, and then you have these support poles that go right up in the middle of it. Also, this is the only bumper car ride I've ever been on that exits into a gift shop. This is a unique ride here at Great Escape. It is Condor. It's basically a scrambler that goes up a ways in the air, so pretty interesting. This is the Canyon Blaster Mine Train ride. It's a short ride, there's not a whole lot to it, but I do like that there's some good Western theming on it, and it ends with Helix. Most of the interesting rides are either in the front or the back of the park. The middle section is mostly food and game stands, but we do have this ride. It is the Blizzard. It is a scrambler ride. It's in the dark and there's lights and sound. This is what the inside of Blizzard looks like. This is an Alpine Bobsled. There are 3 8-person cars. This is the Canada car. There is also a Switzerland car and an Italy car. Now there are no tracks on this ride. It just rolls inside this trough that you can see down here. And it's a little bit bumpy. It throws you around a little bit. It's a fun ride though. In addition to this bobsled ride, I also enjoy watching the actual bobsleds themselves. Now, the bobsled team has to train by fitting themselves into small spaces. Do you know how the bobsled team trains to fit themselves into small places in the summertime? They fly southwest. It's the Extreme Supernova. What a name for a ride. It sounds like something I'd come up with if I was on an acid trip. The Splashwater Kingdom water park is in the very back of the park. It's split into two separate sections. The very backmost section we have this bowl slide, got the water playground and a lazy river, tornado slide, and the old tube slides over here. Someone said in the last video they had never seen one of these tornado slides. They're all exactly the same. You go up and down that hill into this bowl and you go back and forth a few times. They're pretty fun rides, but they're all exactly the same though. The other section of the water park, we have a wave pool and the Alpine Freefall slide complex. We've got 4 really good mat racer slides. They twist through each other and there's a good drop. Definitely took me by surprise here. If there's a pleasant surprise today, it's definitely this mat racer, as it is the drop box slide at the top. Very steep slide. You fall straight down. Very exciting slide. The largest gift shop you actually hit outside of the park. Here you can buy your Comet t-shirts, or even better yet, your Extreme Supernova t-shirt. Oh yeah. Some final thoughts on the Great Escape. If you're someone who feels like you should go to a park and then just ride roller coasters all day long and all of them should be awesome, you're not going to have a very good time here. There's just a few major rides, almost all of them are copies of other rides. But this park is not without its merits. So I was here over 9 hours today and I still didn't ride all of the rides. There's a very solid collection of intermediate thrill rides here. So if you're a younger fan and you like some of these smaller type rides, this is definitely a good park to go to. But certainly you're not going to want to book a ticket to fly out here for any reason at all. If you'd like to turn your Great Escape trip into a multi-day experience, right across the street from the park, there is the Six Flags Great Escape Lodge. This is an indoor water park. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the In the Loop channel, listen to the In the Loop podcast, and I'll see you next time. This is Ranger signing off from the Great Escape.